Hello once again everyone, how you doing? So basically this video is going to be on rehousing my irmina. I think there's a video on this guy already when I rehoused it first into these small containers. It's kind of outgrown it, however. You can see it's pulled all the substrate up around it and it's kind of like burrowed down at the bottom. And with this tall container, I placed it in there because they're said to be arboreal. However, I've yet to have one that really displays arboreal tendencies. Most of them seem to just burrow down like this in the bottom of the substrate and just stay hidden away from sight. They just kind of build their substrate up, and it's almost like building tunnels, but there's not enough substrate in there, so they just kind of like build it up and just build a little den for themselves down there. So some people have said if you put a piece of bark, which there was one in here originally, but then I took it out, that they will climb up that piece. So in this container I've put a decent sized piece of bark where the spider can definitely climb on. Just really interested to see if it does climb on there or if it continues to just kind of stay towards the bottom and burrow. Irminas are fast teas, so once again I am doing this transfer in a 10-gallon container. Not really worried about its bite at this size or anything, but they are fast. It's pretty likely that it'll take off once I start pulling the substrate and end up on the bottom of this 10-gallon. So what I do usually is pull the substrate out in chunks whenever it's like that, and just try to get rid of as much as possible to try to guide the spider in there. And he or she is right there in the bottom, so just pull this stuff out. Let me see if I could do this one-handed. If not, I will stop for a moment. Yeah, this is kind of lifting up, so let me pause for a moment here. Basically, I'm just going to continue to pull the substrate from around the tea, and then once it's exposed, we'll do the transfer. So be back in a few. Thanks. Alright everyone, so I pulled the substrate, and these guys, well, don't usually tend to run as you're pulling the substrate. They kind of stay hidden, kind of shy away. Unlike others like the H-Max, those guys, as soon as any movement hits there, a lot of times they take off. So I was able to get all the substrate from around the tea without hurting it, just very carefully making sure that it was out of the way. That's why I stopped for a moment. And the idea here is going to be to tap it a little bit on the rear legs, and a lot of times when I do that, it'll actually just climb out of its current container and right into the new one, as long as they're butted up together. So hopefully it does that, but if it doesn't, then it'll just run to the bottom of the container. These irminas tend to do that. If they take off on you, they tend to just like run, and as soon as they hit a corner or a wall, they just stop there. They are fast though, really fast, really quick teas. So let's just see what happens here. Nudging it a little bit. And of course, it doesn't want to move at all. So, making sure I don't miss the shot. So yeah, this one's a little shy, does not want to move. And so let me get this tape out of this container. Oops. Sorry, T. Didn't mean to do that. Get the tape off. Alright. So no tape in there, so what I'll do is I will take the container and just flip it in here like this and see if tapping it I was hoping the piece of wood there would attract it to want to come out of there. So what I'll do now is basically just put the screen lid on here and just leave her in there and leave her be for a bit and won't bother her, and see if she just comes out on her own. So I will be back to update here shortly. Thanks. Alright everyone, so there he is. Went back into this container. What I ended up doing, just going back to putting them side by side, and was able to hold the container a little bit more while I nudged them, and started walking slowly over to this container. So as you can see, went right in there. Didn't really try to take off or anything, so that's a good thing. Now I would just crawling around in there. Now I would just secure this lid on here. And with this container, that'd be pretty cool because we won't have to do that snapping much. But there he is, and I think this one smelled just because of the way it looks and the way my other females have looked down there in the bottom. So I'll see what this guy does, see if he tends to stay down or basically climb up like an arboreal, and keep y'all updated. Alright everyone, well, that's pretty much it. Pretty simple rehousing. Thanks for watching.